What's going on, everyone? I'm Rohan. I'm a fourth year medical student currently studying at Cardiff University, and today I'm going to take you on my first clinical placement of 2021. That is my psych placement. So today I'm in the substance misuse department in one of the new hospitals, which is in Newport. Let's get into it. Right, so we made it. Now we're going to go inside and get started with the day. Hola, hola. How are you guys and girls doing? So that about wraps up the first clinical placement from the hospital. Got taught about, the mechanism behind alcohol withdrawal and alcohol substance misuse. The next placement's going to be with the consultant at the hospital. So hopefully I get to follow their route around and get to meet a couple more patients than I did over here because I only saw 2. But fair enough, I was only here for 3 hours. It's only 12 o'clock right now, but I still got another whole day to go. Yay. I'm very, very happy. Can you tell? So unfortunately, my James Bond skills still need a bit of work. I couldn't film as much as possible in this hospital. Hopefully in the next hospital, I'm there for about 5 hours. So then I'll be able to film a bit more. Let's get into it. And we have arrived at placement number 2. I got to listen to some really interesting psychiatric cases. Stay tuned to listen to what they were. It is 5:30 and I am done. So this hospital was in Caerphilly, which is another half an hour drive from Cardiff, but let's get home. I am tired as hell. Right, now I'm home. I had to change my jumper because I got food on it. Don't judge me. The first hospital is the Cardiff University Hospital, which is a new hospital which is being built outside of Newport. Literally just got built in November 2020. From the outside, you can tell that it is lovely. So here I met with one of the psychiatric consultants and met a couple of patients who were currently going through alcohol withdrawal, and they were in the A&E department. The A&E department in the Cardiff University Hospital was the most relaxed A&E department I have ever seen in my entire life. Everything was stacked up perfectly. Everything was nice and neat and organized. So let's talk about the first patient. Let's bring back Bob. So Bob was quite anxious. Rightly so, he was in A&E, but he was kind enough to let me and one of the other medical students listen in on the consultation with him and the consultant. It was interesting because obviously I'd never seen a patient going through alcohol withdrawal, but it was also interesting because I got to see the mannerism of the doctor with the patient. So obviously when you're a psychiatric doctor, you need to be good with patients. But I tell you, this psychiatric doctor was so relaxed and so kind, it was so nice to see. So when the consultant was talking to this patient, it was very interesting to see that the doctor actually went down to the same level as the patient and talk to them. The patient was lying down on the A&E bed and the doctor actually sat on the floor so that the patient and herself were at eye contact. It was very interesting to see how the doctor used her body language to talk to the patient and get on the same level as them instead of hovering above them and trying to assert dominance. The next patient was about a young girl around 17 years old who was also addicted to alcohol and was currently going through alcohol withdrawal. So the case was actually very interesting because when you walked into the room, the patient seemed completely relaxed and calm. The only slight problem was that she had the blanket over her head because the light was irritating her eyes. But other than that, she seemed very confident and very well spoken. But upon speaking with her more, especially with the consultant, it was obvious that the patient was struggling. And it was very interesting again to see how the doctor interacted with the patient to make her feel more relaxed during the consultation. Honestly, I would love to have this consultant's communication skills. It would be so useful. So as you can tell from the video, at this moment, I realized I had to rush off because I was late because I had to go to a different hospital. I got there and you know what happened? COVID equals no patients. Honestly, I saw 1 patient in the whole 5 hours that I was there. LOL. The 1 patient that I did see was really interesting though, so it was all worth it. So these patients' symptoms were really interesting. The patient had psychotic symptoms, which in her case meant that she had hallucinations and delusions. In this case, the patient thought that somebody was scanning her body with a body scanner through her roof, and she could feel the vibrations from the body scanner in her feet. The patient could also hear voices in her head. Honestly, being in a position where patients feel comfortable enough to tell you about their symptoms really makes you grateful that you're a medical student. So although I only saw 1 patient, I did get to listen in on 2 other phone consultations. A lot more patients aren't coming in physically, but patients still need help, so calling in for telephone consultations. So in conclusion, even though my first day of clinical placement wasn't exactly physically demanding, it was really interesting to see how the doctors interacted with the patients, and it also gave me a good foundation and basic understanding of some of the psychiatric disorders which I might see later on in placement. Because there weren't many patients, the doctors were actually more willing to teach me, and so I actually got a lot more out of it than expected. I hope you all enjoy watching what I got up to my first day of clinical placement of 2021. If you enjoy this style of content, so like the vloggy and then me explaining stuff at the end kind of style of content, then let me know in the comments below and I'll definitely do more of that stuff. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Let's go!